Hey everyone, it's Daunter. If you don't know who I am, I'm a Pokemon card YouTuber who is trying to hit 700 subscribers, so if you want to help out, then feel free. But there's a question that I've always wondered. Which starter which starter Pokemon has the most amount of cards? Now, I've whipped up this handy dandy tier list here, going by the rankings of less than 10, less than 20, less than 30, less than 40, less than 50, and 104. So, which Pokemon do you think has the most amount of cards? Or, well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you could probably guess it. So, which Pokemon has, like, the second most amount of cards? You probably don't know who that is off the top of your head. And what Pokemon has the least amount of cards? You might know who it is, you might not, but who has the second least, you might not know that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the tier list, and I'm going to place one down and then talk about that Pokemon. And yeah, I'm going to talk about a favorite card of theirs that I have. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. Starting us off with the least amount of cards is going to be Primarina. So Primarina only has 6 Pokemon cards total, including any reprints, which is not a lot, right? There's not really a lot to talk about with Primarina because they don't have a lot of cards, nothing really of note. I think some promos, some regular illustrations, and my favorite card from Primarina is probably just the one from Sun and Moon base set. Man, Primarina really does not have a lot to choose from here. It's by Kagemaru Himeno, that's a good thing. It's very cute, like it's got a good vibe to it, and I don't mind it. Yeah, there's just not really a lot to talk about for Primarina. Other than that, I don't know, like, it's just, like, crazy to me that this Pokemon has so little, like, representation, so little cards. Our next Pokemon is going to be actually a tie between 2 Pokemon. So, firstly, I'm just going to put down the first one here, Meowscarada. They have 8 cards, which is kind of strange to me. They got a shiny full art promo that I can think of off the top of my head. They got an alternate artwork in Paldea Evolved. They got some regular cards and some promos, and that was about it for Meowscarada. They kind of just like threw him to the wayside there after Scarlet and Violet was over, which is a little bit surprising to me, but, whatever. For my favorite card from Meowscarada, gotta say, the alternate artwork from Paldea Evolved has gotta be my favorite. Koki Saito drew it. It's a really, really cool looking card. I love how he's like grasping onto a tree there. You get to see kind of like the entire town, the entire city. I think it's a really, really good looking card. Very good representation of the Pokemon, and I think that they did a fantastic job. Knocked it out of the park. Our next Pokemon here is going to be Chestnut, who tied with Meowscarada. I'm not surprised, to be honest. Chestnut's not really the most popular Pokemon in the world, and it's just surprising to me that, like, the only reason that they're at this position is that, like, and not lower, is that they got a regular V and a full RV and Silver Tempest, and that was the only card they got in the Sword and Shield era. We haven't seen Chestnut since, so that's kind of sad. For my favorite card from Chestnut, Chestnut has not a lot to pick from, unfortunately, but it does have a Mitsuhirorita illustration. It actually has 2 of them. Mine is probably going to be on the promo, the pre-release promo by Mitsuhirorita. It's got a good expression. It's got a good sense of, like, environment for sure, with like the city, the bustling city in the background. I don't know, I actually kind of like it. Like, I'm surprised. I don't really like Chestnut that much as a Pokemon, but this card makes me like him a little bit more. I think he's, like, got actual personality in the card, which I really, really appreciate, honestly, because I feel like that's not something that you really see from a lot of other Chestnut cards. I mean, there's not really a lot of them, so. Our next Pokemon is actually another tie, but this tie is a 3-way tie this time. So, our first Pokemon here is actually going to be Delphox. Delphox only with 9 cards. Delphox does have some pretty cool cards, I'm pretty sure. For Delphox has some pretty alright illustrations, I would say. It actually has 2 illustrations by Kawaii, which is kind of surprising. But out of all of them, I would say that my favorite is probably the Delphox EX promo. This is by 5-Band Graphics. The card is really, really nice. It's got, like, a great sense of, like, direction in terms of just, like, the Pokemon flinging its wand and, like, shooting out those fiery effects is really cool. It's got a good expression on its face. It's got a good, like, color palette as well, with, like, kind of a blue, purplish kind of effect style going on there. And I think it looks, really, really cool. It's still kind of crazy to me that a Pokemon like Delphox, which is not super widely hated, has so little cards and representation. But, it is what it is, right? Next on this 9 list, we've got Skeledirge. So we have Skeledirge here. Skeledirge has some cool cards, like that alternate artwork from Paldea Evolved. I would say that that's probably my favorite artwork that they have. I mean, like, they only have a couple artworks, but they have some pretty good ones. It's just kind of sad that the Gen 9 Pokemon got kind of shafted, but, you know, whatever. And our last Pokemon, with a three-way tie, is going to be Quaquaval. So, yeah, you see all three of the Gen 9 starters here. But at least, you know, at least Skeledirge and Quaquaval beat out Delphox and Chestnut, right? It is kind of sad that these Pokemon don't have that many cards, but whatever. Like that, I mean, it was through the whole entire Scarlet and Violet era too. Like that's 9 cards for what is that? Like 6, 7, 8, 9 sets. Like I guess it's fair. But yeah, Quaquaval didn't really get a lot of cards. Not a lot of really noteworthy cards either. Just the exact same as like the other two. They all pretty much got the exact same representation, bar a regular card here or there. Which is why Meowscarada only got one less than the other two. Now, for my favorite card from Quaquaval, this is actually kind of a tough one. I think that my favorite one personally is actually the one from Surging Sparks by Nagimiso. I really love how like dynamic the card is. I like the colors a lot. I love the sky in the background. I think it's a really nice looking like illustration of the Pokemon, just in terms of like the environment around it. I love how like dynamic it is. It's got like a cool pose. It's a really nice looking card. And that actually caps off our less than 10 card section here, which is kind of cool. Looks like the next Pokemon on the list is going to be Emboar, sitting with a healthy 19 cards. Now, this also doesn't really surprise me that much. I would say that Emboar is not really that popular of a Pokemon, so seeing it here is kind of unsurprising. It did get a really cool art rare in the new Black Bolt White Flare set that I really like. That's probably my favorite card, but there's also this really cool shiny card that Emboar has, so, you know, even though it has a few amount of cards, it does have some pretty decent looking cards here and there. For my favorite card from Emboar, I would say that my favorite card from Emboar is probably going to be the old school Next Destiny's shiny card. That card is really cool, illustrated by 5-band graphics. They were really knocking it out of the park back in the day. It's really awesome. I love like the raising fire effects. I love, you know, Emboar's cool expression with its arms raised up, or hands or whatever. And that blue shiny is just so striking. It looks so good. Yeah, I really like it for an older card by 5-band graphics. Our next Pokemon is going to be Incineroar with 14 cards. Now, this does actually kind of surprise me because I feel like Incineroar has seen a little bit of representation with like the Litten art rare that we got in Temporal Forces. And if it wasn't for the full art and the EX, Incineroar would only have 12. So, and those were, I think, Incineroar's only cards in the Scarlet and Violet era, so that's kind of surprising. But Incineroar, I feel like, is a pretty decently popular Pokemon, so I'm kind of surprised that it has so few cards. For Incineroar, Incineroar has some interesting illustrations. I wouldn't say it has like the best lineup of cards ever. I don't really like its GX Rainbow. I don't really like its Full Art GX. I think it doesn't look very good. I guess if I had to pick one, it would probably be the Silver Tempest one. I really like it. It's really cute, illustrated by Hideki Ishikawa. It's very cute. I like how they're in like Kukui's lab, and I like how he's just got like that giant sleep bubble. Like, what is it called? Just like the bubble when you're sleeping, I guess. Incineroar, not a lot of cards, but I do really like that one. It does have a lot of personality. It's very cool. Our next Pokemon is also a two-way tie. This is going to be between, let's just go with the less interesting one first. It's going to be Meganium. Meganium has 15 cards, so just one more than Incineroar. But yeah, that's not really surprising to me. Meganium is not really a popular Pokemon. I'm surprised that it has more than like Delphox and Incineroar, to be honest. But it hasn't gotten a card since the Sun and Moon era, so I'm really surprised about that. I mean, you know, we've been missing Meganium cards for 3 eras now, so that's kind of a long period of time. That's like 9 years, I believe. That's really bad. Now, my favorite card from Meganium. Meganium has actually some pretty okay cards, especially like those older cards are actually pretty nice. I would say that my favorite Meganium card, though, is definitely gotta be the Meganium Prime, the OG Meganium Prime from Heart Gold and Soul Silver base set. He looks so cool in it, like really cool, surprisingly. I think that it's got like a lot of good like effects on it, and it's got like that Prime Glare, right? Like you can't go wrong with the Prime Glare. I think it's super dope. Meganium, not a lot of cards, and also is tied with Swampert with 15 cards. My favorite card for Swampert is going to be probably one of its older cards. I think that it has a lot of really good older illustrations. I would say my favorite has got to be the EX Crystal Guardian Swampert EX, illustrated by Ryo Ueda. This card is really cool. I love how he's like reaching towards the camera with like an open expression. I think that it's got a lot of pizzazz, a lot of personality. That green background actually works really well with it. All the old school EXs all look so fantastic, and I'm really, really sad to see them go, with the Scarlet and Violet era completely butchering them. But, you know, I gotta say this card is really, really great. I love it so much. It's just such a classic. It's so good. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you could hate it, to be honest. These are all the card amounts are pulled off of Cerebi, by the way. So if you think that, like, if you're like, oh, there's actually this exclusive or this or whatever, I don't know about it, and I don't really care about it for the semblance of this video. And actually, it looks like I missed a Pokemon here. With 13 cards, this is going to be Torterra. Torterra is also near the bottom of the list here, which is a little bit, you know, sad. It's right next to Emboar there, but it is to be expected. I feel like Torterra isn't really super popular Pokemon. Now for Torterra, Torterra doesn't have a lot of cards. My favorite card from Torterra has got to be probably, I don't know, the Level X is kind of cool. I would say the Diamond and Pearl Level X promo is probably my favorite. It's shooting out some sort of like dragon breath or energy or something to make it look a little bit more interesting, which I appreciate. It's illustrated by Shizuru, and if you don't know who Shizuru is, Shizuru did a lot of really older cards for like the Diamond and Pearl era, so we got to see them a lot like back in those days. But it's a really cool card. Next Pokemon here is going to be Infernape with 17 cards. So Infernape does have 17 cards, which is more than Swampert with 15. You know, Infernape is a pretty cool Pokemon. I feel like Infernape has been getting a little bit of love recently in the Scarlet and Violet era. Like, it has a holo, it has a art rare, and it has a pre-release promo, so I'd say that that's like pretty good for representation in the Scarlet and Violet era. I think they did a pretty good job. My favorite card from Infernape is probably going to be the art rare. The card is really cool. It's illustrated by KRGC, who is a very recent artist. Got a lot of pizzazz, a lot of flair, a lot of really cool effects, and I think it's just a really great looking illustration of a really great looking Pokemon. I think Infernape is a pretty cool Pokemon, very underrated. I mean, any of these Pokemon that are like in the under 10, under 20 kind of range is like they're pretty underrated Pokemon, all things considered. It looks like we have another tie. This is going to be between just two Pokemon this time. So our first Pokemon is going to be Serperior with 18 cards. Serperior has been getting a lot of love recently, which I am really happy to see. Serperior got a V-Star, a Rainbow V-Star, a Trainer Gallery V card, what's it called, an SAR in the most recent set. So, you know, Serperior's been getting a lot of love recently. I think that's really bolstering its card amount, which is a good thing. I think Serperior definitely deserves the love. I feel like Serperior is a Pokemon that's like really cool. I like Serperior a lot because Serperior is a snake, and I love snakes. And I think that's it's probably one of the more unique ideas for a starter Pokemon for sure, instead of like a bipedal humanoid kind of creature. I would say that my favorite card for Serperior is probably one of its newer cards. I think the Serperior V Trainer Gallery card it's a beautiful illustration. It's really I like how it's got the volcano in the background. I like how Serperior is looking over at Rosa. I like how Rosa is looking out into the distance. I think it's got like a really good vibe, a really good environment. And I think it's a really nice looking card. What can I say? Moving on to our next Pokemon is going to be Rillaboom. Rillaboom also has 18 cards. So Rillaboom, I'm not really surprised. Actually, I am pretty surprised that Rillaboom has that many cards, because that's just between two eras, and Rillaboom only got one card in the Scarlet and Violet era, which means it got 17 cards in the Sword and Shield era, which is like way more than the Scarlet and Violet starters, like way more. So it seems like in the Sword and Shield era, they were putting a lot more forefront in the starters, which I think was actually a better call. If not, like, if you're looking back on it, I think like we could have really used some more like cool Meowscarada, like maybe like another Sprigatito art rare or something like that, like in like Surging Sparks or whatever. I mean, just as an example, right? It doesn't have to specifically be in that set. My favorite card for Rillaboom is definitely going to be the Sword and Shield promo by Dom. I really love how like punchy the card is. I really love like the effects. I think it's got like a good sense of style. And it makes Rillaboom not like super ugly. I think Rillaboom usually looks pretty dumb. I don't really like Rillaboom that much as a Pokemon, so I'm really happy with that illustration. I think it looks really good. Next on our list is going to be Samurott. So Samurott has 19 cards, and I think this is going to be the final Pokemon in this kind of like under 20 range. Samurott is a really cool Pokemon. I love Samurott. I think it's a like really interesting design, and I think that having this many cards is actually not that many. I'm a little bit disappointed that it doesn't have more, but what can you say? Like it's a really cool Pokemon, and it's really sad that it kind of ranks in this under like this set, like all those Gen 5 starters are under 20 cards, which is kind of surprising to me because they've been around for so long at this point. For my favorite card from Samurott, now I could say that my favorite card from Samurott is probably like a Hisuian card, but I don't want to say that that's not fair to the Samurott legacy, you know. I think Samurott's got some really cool illustrations, but the Samurott from Legendary Treasures by Naoki Saito is like so nice. It's definitely one of Naoki Saito's older artworks, but it does look so good. I love the perspective on the card. I think it makes it look like fantastic. Like it makes it stand out so much in a sea of other cards for the Pokemon. I think it looks fantastic. Our next Pokemon is actually going to be Decidueye with 20 cards exactly in our first under 30. I'm not surprised that it has a good amount of cards, but actually I was expecting it to have a lot more. To be honest with you, I thought Decidueye was more of a popular Pokemon. Obviously it is if it's in like this kind of higher echelon here, but it is not the most. Like I thought it was going to have a lot more. Decidueye has a lot of really cool cards. I think that Decidueye is a super cool Pokemon, but even though it does have a lot of pretty decent cards, I would say that my favorite one is probably going to be the Decidueye from Shrouded Fable, also by Dom. I think this card is really cool. I love the effects. I love the style. Like, it's just very stylized, and I appreciate that a lot. I like how he's kind of like in the bushes, kind of hiding with like natural camouflage. I think that that's a really great idea, and it's executed super well. And I really like Decidueye a lot, so it's cool that it's kind of ranking a little bit higher. But our next Pokemon is actually going to be another tie. It's going to be a three-way tie, actually. Firstly, we do have Empoleon, so 21 cards to Empoleon's name. That's pretty dang good. I feel like it could have been a lot better, as Empoleon is a Gen 4 Pokemon, and we didn't really get to see like a Piplup or Empoleon card in the Scarlet and Violet era that was really cool. Unfortunately, I really like the Pokemon a lot. But, you know, it's really sad that we don't have a little bit more representation for the Pokemon. It's really cool. I love Empoleon. It was my starter when I was a kid. My favorite card for Empoleon is going to be Tough. Empoleon has a lot of really cool cards, and obviously you have the alternate artwork Empoleon from Battle Styles, but the one that speaks to me the most is going to be the Empoleon from Legendary Treasures. The fact that this card connects with the Trubbish and the Fion to make one connected illustration is fantastic. Owning this card makes me feel a lot more personal sentimental attachment towards it, so that's why it's in this area, not like any lower. I really love it. I love Kawaii as an artist. I think they did a fantastic job with the illustration. It really captures, like, I don't know, a sense of adventure, I guess, and it looks really good. You know, and it's just a black and white card. I love black and white. Black and white is like my favorite era. Our next Pokemon is going to be Cinderace with also 21. Really cool to see that the Gen 8 Pokemon get a lot of love. But, you know, you could have wished that maybe some other Pokemon would have gotten some love. Like, I would have replaced some Cinderace cards with Delphox cards, or you know, like, whatever. But, you know, what you can't change the past, right? He has 21 cards, and that's a pretty good amount, I would say. My favorite card from Cinderace. Cinderace doesn't have a lot of illustrations to choose from, so it is kind of hard to pick, just because like there's not really a lot to work with here. But if I really had to pick one, I would probably say that the newest card, like the Mega Brave Hollow, is actually my favorite one. But a close second would be the OG Cinderace VMAX. Oh, I guess that's not the OG one, though. The one from Fusion Strike. I like that card. I think it's cool. But yeah, I would say that the Mega Brave Hollow is actually really cool because it's by Rend, and I really like the effects. I really like the colors. I think it's really striking, and it looks really good. I'm not super surprised. I feel like Cinderace is a pretty relatively popular Pokemon, all things considered. Out of the 3 starters from this generation, I feel like it is probably one of the more popular. So yeah, I can understand. Actually, I also forgot to place Inteleon. Ah, man. I'm like all over the place today. Jeez, that's not very good. Yeah, Inteleon has 17 cards, so not as many as one might think. Inteleon is kind of not really that popular of a Pokemon, so I can totally see why it has like lower like amount. I get it, but I'm kind of surprised because I like Inteleon a lot, and it also does have an alternate artwork and an art rare coming up. So I'm surprised that it had less than Cinderace, considering the fact that it has like a lot of really cool cards. It also has a baby shiny and the full art shiny, so this little guy definitely packs a punch for sure. For Inteleon, now what's my favorite card from Inteleon? Inteleon actually has a lot of really cool illustrations, even though it has so few of them. For my favorite illustration, it's probably going to be that alternate artwork that we did see in Fusion Strike by Kazuma Koda, Very, very underrated artist that kind of stopped illustrating cards, unfortunately, in the Sword and Shield era. But I really, really love their cards because of how like punchy they are. Very, very like aesthetically pleasing. Like those dark colors, the kind of realistic flair. It's just like really, really nice. And we just don't like. I don't know. Like that artist not being there is kind of sad. And the last Pokemon with 21 cards is going to be Feraligatr. So Feraligatr also has 21 cards. It has been seeing some nice cards with a pre-release promo and a holo in the Scarlet and Violet era, as well as a really, really cool promo. It's like a illustration contest promo. I really, really like that card. For Feraligatr, it has some really, really cool cards, but I am really surprised that it has not as many as some of the others on our list. It is actually, you know, the second Gen 2 Pokemon. The first one was Meganium, like way down the list. So it is nice to see that, you know, this other Gen 2 Pokemon gets a little bit more love. Now for Feraligatr. Feraligatr has some pretty great cards, I would say. Some modern cards could be someone's favorite, but I'm going to have to go with the Feraligatr EX from EX Unseen Forces. This card is incredible. It's by Hikaru Koike, who is like an OG, like 3D illustrator who, man, they always knocked it out of the park, and I'm really sad that they stopped doing cards. I love this card so much. Feraligatr looks so cool in it. Like, he just looks so awesome. I love that like white and black background. I think it's really striking. And it looks fantastic on the Pokemon. Honestly, it does. Our next Pokemon is actually going to be Sceptile with a whole 24 cards. Surprisingly, it hasn't gotten a card since Sun and Moon, but the fact that it does still have 24 cards is kind of astounding to me. Like, that's really, really good, considering the fact that the Pokemon hasn't been around for 2 whole generations. You know, making it this far on the list, I would say, is a pretty dang good thing. I mean, even outranking some other, like, Pokemon that are older than it, like Meganium and, you know, Feraligatr, right? So that's pretty dang good. No cards in Sun and Moon is a little bit disappointing, though. My favorite card for Sceptile is definitely going to be one of their older ones. I would say that my favorite card from Sceptile is going to be the Mega Full Art from Ancient Origins, illustrated by 5-Band Graphics. Now, if you know who I am, you know I probably don't really like 5-Band Graphics that much. But actually, their older cards were really, really good. Like the X and Y and the Sun and Moon full arts were so great. Or not Sun and Moon, I'm sorry. X and Y and Black and White, my bad. But the Ancient Origins Sceptile is fantastic. It's got a really, really cool like Japanese text theme going on, like all those old Mega Pokemon did. And I think it looks really, really great for it. I have no complaints. It's a great illustration. Our final Pokemon in the under 30 category is going to be Typhlosion. Typhlosion obviously is getting a lot of love, a lot of bolstering there with that Hisuian form. I could have said the same thing about Samurott, actually. I think the reason that it ended up so high is because it got a lot of Hisuian cards. But yeah, Typhlosion got a lot of really, really cool Hisuian illustrations. Not really an alternate or like an art rare trainer gallery card, unfortunately, but I think Typhlosion got some really, really cool cards recently. Like it has the Destined Rivals one. For Typhlosion, my favorite card is definitely going to be one of its older ones. The Destined Rivals card is really, really nice as well. But Typhlosion has some really great old illustrations. I'd say my favorite one has got to be the Typhlosion EX from EX Sandstorm, and I actually own this card, so I'm really happy about that. Dude, Typhlosion looks so like silly, but also really, really cool in this card. Like that dark shading is so awesome, and like that old style of 3D graphics is really, really charming. I really, really think it's great, and I have no complaints. Yeah, Typhlosion is a really cool Pokemon, so it is cool to see that it is on like the higher end of the list for sure. Moving into Pokemon that have under 40 cards, our first Pokemon here is actually going to be Greninja. Greninja has 32 cards, which is surprising because I thought it would have way more. But it is way higher than the other two Gen 6 Pokemon. If you remember, Delphox had like 8, and also Chestnut had like 8. So it's way, way more than the other two, for sure. But I'm surprised. I thought it was going to have like second highest, third highest. No, it actually doesn't. It's sitting right here in the under 40 camp with a total of 32 cards. My favorite card from Greninja is going to be kind of tough to pick. Greninja has some pretty cool illustrations. But if I had to pick one, I would probably say the most recent one, which is going to be the Scarlet and Violet promo Greninja by Sei Nanahara. I really, really, really like this card a lot. I have nothing to complain about for it. I really love like the leaves, I love the shurikens, I love everything about it. And I think that it makes Greninja look really cool. I mean, you know, Greninja is a cool Pokemon, so you can't really say that Greninja doesn't look cool in a lot of their cards, but I like it. It's cool. It's nice. Our next Pokemon on here is actually going to be Blaziken, surprisingly enough. Blaziken's been getting a lot of love and appreciation recently. I'm surprised about that. It has, you know, a Trainer Gallery V, a Trainer Gallery V Max. It has an Art Rare. It has like so much stuff, like some regular Vs, Rainbow V Max, and Chilling Rain. Like it's got so many cards. My favorite card for Blaziken. Now that's kind of hard. Blaziken has a lot of cards, a lot of cards, and a lot of really good cards as well. So I would say it's pretty hard to pick one that's like properly incredible. I would say that it has a lot of incredible cards. You know, that's probably why I'm saying that. I don't know why I said properly incredible. It doesn't make sense. But I would say if I had to really pick one, it would probably be the Blaziken VMAX from Silver Tempest. The card is really great, illustrated by Kiyotaka Oshiyama. It has a really great sense of like movement in it. You can see like it has one leg forward, one leg backward, and it's got May like hanging off of its leg, you know, gripping on for dear life. With that incredible like expression. It's really punchy, really powerful. I think it does a really great job of showcasing Blaziken as a Pokemon, so I think that's why I like it so much. But yeah, I'm really surprised. Blaziken has so many crazy, like, impressive cards, and just like a really incredible library. Now, obviously, our final Pokemon are going to be the Gen 1 starters, but what order are they going to be in? Well, our first Pokemon on here is going to be Venusaur with a total of 45 cards. Now, is this surprising? Not really. I mean, the Gen 1 Pokemon are the most popular out of all the starters, probably, and they also just got the most amount of appreciation, most amount of love, most amount of time and care. So, I mean, like, looking at the list, like, I'm just surprised that Blaziken and Greninja, well, I'm mostly surprised that Blaziken got so many cards. Like, that's actually really surprising to me. I'm really happy about that. Typhlosion, I'm really happy to see that Pokemon has a lot of cards. I'm really happy to see the Sceptile has a lot. For Alligator, I like for Alligator. And I'm really happy to see that Empoleon and Cinderace are kind of in that upper echelon. But yeah, Venusaur has a lot of cards. People love Venusaur, obviously. Gen 1, people love Gen 1. Now, Venusaur does have some pretty cool cards. But if I had to pick just one, it would be tough, I would say. There's a lot of really nice cards. But actually, I'm going to go with the new Mega Venusaur EX from the Mega Evolution set. I really love it. I mean, the 151 Venusaur is obviously going to be a close second, but the Mega Evolution Venusaur is just so great. I love it so much. I love the colors, love the illustration. I like how punchy it is. I like how you can see like regular Venusaur as a shadow in the foreground there. That's really cool. It's very like cool. I'm just a huge fan of it, honestly. Our next Pokemon obviously going to be Blastoise with a total of 46, so just one more than Venusaur. A lot of really cool cards. Obviously, these three Pokemon are prominently featured in 151, so they do have a lot of cards in the Scarlet and Violet era just because of that. Right? Like, they have a regular EX, they have a Full Art EX, and they also have an SAR. So we do have a lot of cards representation for that. Also, Venusaur and Blastoise both have regular EXs and Stellar Crown. So, you know, you have like a lot more representation than other starters would in the Scarlet and Violet era alone. For a favorite card from Blastoise, it is hard to pick. There's a lot of really cool Blastoise cards. Like, I think he got some really nice representation in, like, the earlier eras of the Pokemon TCG. But if I really had to pick one, come on, it's going to be that Blastoise from 151. That card is absolutely fantastic. Love that Mitsuhiro Arita artwork. I really love the card. But a close second would definitely have to be that Blastoise EX promo by Koei. That card is really good. I love it. Big fan of that one. And with 104 cards is Charizard. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. Nope, I am not surprised at all. Charizard has the most amount of cards, literally more than double, literally double and some change over the second most amount of cards for a Pokemon, which is absolutely ludicrous. I would love it if we never saw a Charizard card again, honestly. I don't think we need more. I think we're good. You know, maybe you could replace every single Charizard card that comes out with, like, Emboar or something, or Typhlosion, or, like, Infernape, or any other starter other than Charizard, and that would be crazy. Like, that would be so cool. Maybe some more Delphox cards, like a Delphox SAR, I don't know, like, anything other than Charizard really would be amazing. Obviously, we're going to be seeing some Mega Charizard cards coming up, too, so get ready for that, I guess. For my favorite card from Charizard, there's a lot of them. It's really hard to pick. Because there's just so many of them. But if I had to pick one, I guess I would say that my favorite one is going to be the Charizard Holo from Legendary Treasures. That holographic border is absurd. The artwork by Tokyo is absolutely absurd. We just don't get them like we used to. I mean, this is just a regular holo card, like, and it just looked that good. It just looked like that. Like, it just straight up, like, they were just like, ship it, you know, pull it off, ship it. That's just a regular holo card. Yeah, you think we get a good holo card like that nowadays? And with that, that's the list. Here is a full image of what the list looks like. We have a lot. It's very bottom heavy. Like, we have a lot. Most of the Pokemon are in the under 20 cards camp, which is kind of surprising to me. Very, very shocking to me that there's so many Pokemon with under 20 cards. And you know, like the mid tier here with the less than 30 cards, it is pretty filled out, I would say. But definitely we could use some more representation from any of the Pokemon on the bottom half of the list. If you are if you're part of the Pokemon TCG and you're watching this video, yeah, stop printing Charizard, start printing Swampert. You know, 15 cards for a Pokemon with that legacy is ludicrous. And same thing with Meganium. Like, those Pokemon deserve so much more, honestly. Like, just the fact that Swampert is a Gen 3 Pokemon sitting, like, at the bottom half of my list is kind of absurd. And same thing with Meganium being part of the first 2 generations of the Pokemon TCG, and just Pokemon in general. Being that low on the list is absolutely absurd, and should not be a thing. Like, that should, let's just be honest, that should not be a thing at all. Anyways, guys, if you guys want to see the other starters, like the first forms, second forms, on a tier list similar to this, I'd love to do something like that. But it just take a little bit more effort, a little bit more time to prepare. So regardless, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. You know, subscribe. Just a reminder to subscribe. Make sure you do that, because if you don't do that, then I won't get to 700 subscribers, and like that would be not cool. I want to be 700 subscribers. I want to have 700 subscribers. Do you want to have 700 subscribers? I mean, that sounds like pretty cool. Anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time.